Welcome. Today we're going to do a brief overview of persuasive writing. Now let's start by taking a look at why we would use persuasive writing for creating a piece. So whenever we're doing persuasive writing, as writers, our purpose is to persuade or to convince our readers of something. And it could be anything at all. It could be that a particular food is very good, or it could be that a specific political candidate is the best out of all the choices. The tone is always going to be persuasive, but that tone can vary pretty widely. You could have a very gentle, persuasive tone that's just kind of nudging and suggesting. That's persuasive. Or you can have a very dramatic, a very hard-hitting kind of persuasive tone. That would be the opposite. That can actually lean all the way into propaganda and forcing your readership to believe you or to agree with you, whether or not they get the choice, that kind of thing. So persuasive writing can have a wide variety of tones, and you need to choose the tone that works the best for your particular piece and for your particular audience. The reason that your audience is there, the reason that your readers have shown up, is that they need to make some kind of a decision. And so they're reading your piece to find out more about that particular topic. Now let's take a look at some examples of persuasive writing. Persuasive writing, we're going to see it all over the place. It is almost as common as expository writing, but not quite. So anytime that we are in a periodical, if that's a newspaper, a magazine, or any of the variety of multimedia online types of periodicals that are available, we are definitely going to run into some persuasive writing. An example would be a letter to the editor or opinion pieces. Those are always going to be persuasive because not only are they going to be stating an opinion, but they're typically also trying to get the readers to agree with them on some level, even if it's just something small. We'll run into satirical pieces too. So satirical pieces are going to be in publications like The New Yorker or The Onion, and they are definitely being persuasive, even though they might not be so direct as to what they are persuading about. So television or radio advertisements, political speeches, really any kind of advertisement at all. If you've got an advertising group that is advertising for a product, for a service, for a political candidate, anything like that, it's always persuasive. Always trying to get the reader, the listener, to agree. Always. Speeches that are given in town hall meetings or legislative sessions, such as your state or federal legislators, okay, in Congress. Those are always persuasive. They're trying to get their co-workers to agree with them. Let's say that a person gets up and gives a speech about a particular bill. They're trying to get their coworkers to vote for it or vote against it. They're trying to enlighten their coworkers, but also trying to convince them, trying to persuade them to agree. Product endorsements, those are persuasive. Also the pre-game predictions. If you've ever watched a football game or a hockey game or something like that, there's always some chatter at the beginning of the game where the announcers are giving information about what's going on in the game, who they think is going to win, which players that they think are going to do a really good job, which players that they're concerned about, maybe because they just had injuries, things like that. It's always persuasive, right? They're trying to get a general message across and trying to share their own viewpoints. Any kind of review, if it's a review of a product, a service, a book, a movie, always persuasive, always trying to convince the readers to share the same viewpoint with the writer. How many times have you read a movie review? Maybe it said that the movie was a bad one, and then you went to see the movie and you thought, that was a pretty good movie. So, even though the writer is trying to convince the reader, it doesn't always work. And then, of course, with essays, with classroom situations, persuasive essays, research papers, other papers, those can also be persuasive, just depending upon the particular task, the particular assignment. So, this is persuasive writing. This is why we use persuasive writing. We want to convince readers to agree with us. I hope this information is helpful to you, and good luck with your writing.